In order to not miss our informations, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment. On December 31, 2019, the World Health Organization first reports a previously unknown virus behind a number of pneumonia cases in Wuhan, a city in eastern China with a population of over 11 million. What started as an epidemic mainly limited to China has now become a truly global pandemic. There have now been over 847,404 confirmed cases and 41,567 deaths around the world. Even though there are some books and movies that basically predicted the coronavirus. For example, The Mask of the Red Death, written by Edgar Allan Poe and directed by Roger Corman, published in 1842, movie released in 1964. No pestilence had ever been so fatal or so hideous. Blood was its avatar, and it sealed the redness and the horror of blood. There were sharp pains and sudden dizziness, and then profuse bleeding at the pores with dissolution. The Eyes of Darkness, written by Dean Koontz, published in 1981. A Chinese scientist named Li Chen defected to the United States, carrying a discrete record of China's most important and dangerous new biological weapon in a decade. They call the stuff Wuhan 400. Les Profetiers, written by Michel Day. Nostradamus aka Nostradamus, published in 1555. Nostradamus mentioned plagues a handful of times throughout Les Profetiers, but only one quatrain, Century V Quatrain 63, seems at all relevant to COVID-19. Contagion, directed by Steven Soderbergh, from a script by Scott Z. Barnes, released in 2011. Contagion follows a large cast of characters as they react to the spreading virus, including a CDC investigator, played by Kate Winslet, who explains how the virus spreads in terms that will be familiar to anyone paying attention to COVID-19. Apart from that, a Chinese foreign ministry spokesman pushed as an unproven claim on social media. Zhao Lijian, known for his Twitter outbursts, tweeted on this March 12. It might be the US Army who brought the epidemic to Wuhan. Be transparent, make public your data. The USOS as an explanation. The allegation was linked to the military World Games held in Wuhan last October. The event drew competitors from more than 100 countries and included US soldiers. Thou later shared articles from a Canada-based conspiracy website. They suggested that the coronavirus originated in the US rather than in China. The US Embassy in Beijing did not immediately respond. Those tweets came after the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo used the term Wuhan virus. Some US politicians also used the term or referred to it as Chinese coronavirus. Beijing has increasingly pushed back on the idea that the virus originated in China, even though the first were reported there in late 2019. The WHO had officially named the disease COVID-19 to avoid stigmatization.
生活也没有特别大的影响了。除了就是戴着口罩出门之外，其他的逛街呀、吃饭呀、购物什么的，我们都还是挺正常的。然后工作方面的话，大家也是渐渐的都开始正常的复工了。
I was happy, and I really think that China did a very good job. The government was very efficient and take the right solution economically and also for the safety to stay and ask the people to stay home at least for the first month or month and a half, so the situation was getting under control.
有门口有检查，然后你要你登记你的住址，然后你的去往的地方，然后有健康证，然后你包括你自己的身份信息要登记，这些都有。对，然后测量体温也有，就是过来玩一下，过来吃吃火锅，然后逛一下。就是国家这方面做的特别好。对，包括从深圳到成都，我的感受，给我的感受就是各方面都做的特别好，然后防控力度也特别强，就给我的信心就感觉我们是可以控制得住的。
Even if the US President Donald Trump calls the coronavirus the Chinese virus,
I would like to begin by announcing some important developments in our war against the Chinese virus. We'll be invoking the Defense Production Act just in case we need it.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all, no, not at all. It comes from China.
instead of doing so, he and we have a lesson to learn from them. Although on 31st March, mainland China reported a rise in new confirmed novel coronavirus cases, reversing 4 days of declines due to an uptick in infections involving travelers arriving from the overseas. All of the 48 new cases were imported, bringing the total number of imported cases in China to 771 as of Monday. And this happens after the country sealed its borders to foreigners on Saturday.